And I think conflict is going to inform us, whether it's World Economic Forum in Davos, whether it's Gartner predicting that by 2020, 25% of organizations will use the services of a cyber mercenary organization. Now, I'm not sure what a cyber mercenary organization exactly looks like, or how many of us could start one in a few minutes, because there's going to be some money to be made there. But we absolutely believe, as do some pretty major players and governments, that there's going to be a catastrophic cyber conflict or attack that will affect neither nation states or financial services and the financial network around the world. And we've all seen over the past few years how very resilient our financial flows and networks are. So, that's going to happen. And I think the final piece is that I touched on earlier on, that every time we try and help ourselves, essentially we place barriers to the free movement of information. We place barriers around trade, around collaboration, around data. And if there's one thing that our dear friends, the adversary, will exploit, it's these barriers, it's these fracture points, and it's our inability to share information and react as fast as they do. So from an HP perspective, there's a couple of things that we really need to do. We need to focus on the adversary and their role in what happens. It's often difficult to do that, I think, from within an organization. But if we spend 20% of our time focusing on the adversary, I think we'll have a disproportionate effect on how they attack us. We need to disrupt them at every stage of that kill chain. The second piece is around being able to understand, identify, and manage our risk as individuals, as organizations. The key assets we hold, what they're used for, how we can both protect and enable those assets. Understand your strategy, your policy, yes, absolutely, but what the operational controls are to deliver a higher or appropriate level of risk. Our consultants and our consulting teams, as I say, nearly 5,000 people around the world, are very much focused on understanding and changing and managing risk for organizations. And then the final piece, which is, we sit in a room today and for the next couple of days together, we share ideas, but actually we go back within, the majority of the time, within the walls of our organization. And we don't exhibit the traits that the adversaries do. We don't collaborate, we don't share information. We aren't able to get a single view of threat and situational awareness around the world and how that impacts our organization. We might run some scenario planning and some cyber crisis management activities, but we don't often do that with our partners, who are so important in that process. So extending the cybersecurity capability is a huge part of our strategy and what we hope we can discuss and talk about over the next couple of days. And really that's, we need to do those things against the backdrop of some of the predictions we've made for this year, some of the big disruptive trends we see, the things that are happening and changing for us as individuals, as I've said, but also as CISOs and security leaders. And really, my plea, we're spending a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of resources understanding these scenarios and turning them into discrete action points and solutions. But we recognize we really can't do it on our own. And we want to work with everybody to try to build and close the gap against that adversary who continues to outfox us and make our day jobs that much harder. So thank you very much, and hope you enjoy the rest of the day.